They're not as popular as the Justice League, the Justice Society, the Titans, teen or otherwise. It's probably a 50-50 toss up. Just make sure Harvey Dent's not the one flipping if they're more popular than the Outsiders. But the All Star Squadron features some amazing designs that would make for stellar figures. Which is why I'm still a little bit upset, a little bit salty that I don't have a massive All Star Squadron figure display, a shelf dedicated to those guys and gals. One of my favorite all time DC teams. McFarlane Toys might be answering the call to deliver some quality All Star Squadron figures, even if their initial crack isn't quite as great as I would have hoped. Let's take a look at him in the other reveal that we got today. What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. The All Star Squadron is an amazing team. It's like this hybrid of a few individual characters that come together and merge with the Justice Society during the peak of World War II. It's a really great read. I didn't start reading until Crisis on Infinite Earths, right when the team was about to get wiped out. So, of course, I went old school, or how it was to read comic books back in the day. And I traveled to so many local comic book stores trying to track down back issue after back issue of the All Star Squadron. I'm still waiting on the omnibus. Just one would basically cover the entire run. So much fun, though. Great characters introduced, some of which just kind of indirectly, and some because they happen to be members of the Justice Society. We have in our DC Classics collection from Mattel. Here's the roster in case you don't know. This is I guess, the most traditional version of the All Star Squadron. So you see, based on the primary, the main, the top dog characters, we've got several of them so far. We've got Our Man, we've got Guardian, we've got Alan Scott, Green Lantern, Dr. Fate, we've got Plastic Man, we've got Adam. We've also got this guy, Steel. You're not going to see him in focus because I keep zooming, but you're not. But they delivered a really fun character. You catch probably the metallic blue there. He's a really sharp figure and one of my favorites to put in that display simply because he's the one dedicated member of the All Star Squadron. And because of those initials, I always have to say All Star Squadron. And I was really excited. I was hoping that Mattel would give us a Johnny Quick. They'd give us an Amazing Man, a Liberty Bell, Firebrand, and Robot Man and Shiny Knight. I'd call it a day. I would be so ecstatic to have those in my figure collection. I wouldn't complain about some of the other gaps and misses in my DC Classics collection. But even with the subscription service, we never got any more of those guys. Unless, of course, you want to just include the everybody from Earth 2 is part of the All Star Squadron, which eventually that became the case. So, anyway, the primary team, the ones featured in most issues, were these guys. So, most glaringly absent Johnny Quick, Amazing Man, Robot Man, the silver version, Liberty Bell, Firebrand, Shiny Knight, and Tarantula. The McFarlane Toys is kind of teasing us with the idea of, yeah, I've got you guys covered. On a leaked list of figures coming out, one name was mentioned that really stood out to me. I was excited about a lot of them, but this one really had me pumped up and hyped. It was Shiny Knight. And I was like, yes, Sir Justin is coming. And I cannot wait to add him to my collection. He's going to look so cool with his gold armor, his sword. This is going to be amazing. And then at Comic Con, we got the reveal. And it wasn't so amazing. It wasn't so great. It wasn't even Sir Justin. So this is who we got here. The Shiny Knight from, I think, the Grant Morrison run. Still haven't read it. And I was like, oh, man. The gold looks great. It pops. I just wish it were my guy, Justin. Sir Justin. Because that Shining Knight figure, I think, would be awesome. This one's pretty fun in terms of a random character that you could pit against your Marvel Legends as a really tall Amazon or somebody to go against your Thor heroes. But it really doesn't do anything for me in terms of starting or getting more members to my All-Star Squadron. So I've already got the Alan Scott Green Lantern. He's the only one that's kind of there. Also, Jay Garrick, but he's not in that main picture because, we got Johnny Quick. So we don't need so many speedsters on the team. Still, I mean, there's so many characters we need. But today, we got a reveal of one member of the All-Star Squadron, and I'm not quite sure what to think about it. So here we go with our first one for today. It's Steel. Target exclusive. And you can see he's using that really weird, unnecessary buck. It's the speeding bullets. Batman, Superman are not even really sure of how it's designated or clarified. You can tell because of these ridges here. This is such an odd choice for a body for a character who's got a plain suit. All you needed to do, we got this great addition here with these trunks that actually capture the 2 points on his trunks. That's great. But this body is just so weird to use. Steel's a character. He's not like super incredibly buff. I would have been okay if they'd used the blank Blue Beetle mold, or maybe one like the Silver Age Green Lantern that doesn't have any line work whatsoever. That would have been ideal for him because these ridges are distracting and he has silver paint along the sides, which stand out even more with these slats that are here for no reason. I don't understand why companies make these choices when they have existing body molds that would make a lot more sense. Also, something that does not make any sense, why his eyes are whited out. Now, let me pull up a few reference photos for you just to give you an idea of what he should look like. This is it right here. Simple. You can see they've got the 2 points. That's great that they've included that, but wide open eyes. They're wide open, the mask, and you can see his eyes. So I don't know what they decided with there. Doesn't make, too much sense. I mean, the dude's colors pop. I don't understand why we needed to do anything different. Here's another look at him with his fellow All-Star Squadron members, Robot Man, Liberty Bell. Here's Tarantula in his original outfit. Johnny Quick, Firebrand, again, illustrated by the great Jerry Ordway, by the way. But I mean, I don't understand where there was any confusion. Maybe, oh, we're trying to do the Citizen Steel look. I'm not quite sure there's confusion there because I mean, his outfit is pretty much similar to the All-Star Squadron member. But even here with this Alex Ross painting, his eyes are just closed. He's just feeling the glow, as Naomi would do. It's not like his eyes are whited out. I don't understand where that came from with this figure. So it's just really confusing. And, once we get to this stage, they're done. We might see this guy out at Target tomorrow, the way, McFarlane drops these figures. Now, granted, if you have a steady hand, you can paint the eyes. I may have to contract out this to some of my buddies to paint those so then it'll look all botched and crazy. Like if I were to do it, I just don't understand why they're whited out. Just like I don't understand this mold choice. It's so bad for characters that need blank bodies. So this is just really confusing. A little bit disappointing just because, the paint looks good. The colors look like they pop. The reds, the blues, because it's not like a dark red or blue. I think they got the right tone on that. The silver pops kind of nicely. You got the fin in place just so. But this body, just the wrong choice. I just don't even understand. I mean, you got the tights with that little extra for authenticity. But using this body is just so bizarre and so weird. I really don't get it. Very confusing. Let's move so we're not just staring at Steel's little crotch area. Anyway, so we got one other reveal, and this one's kind of an interesting one as well. It's Sinestro Core Sinestro as Parallax. So here's that look. And it's a pretty solid looking figure. Not upset with how he turned out. And I really love his little goblin piece there. And you can see he's got the Sinestro Core logo. So maybe you can just call this, instead of a construct, a totally different member of the Sinestro Core. And you see in the background, we got some of the upcoming Green Lanterns. Maybe some of you have found them in stores. That's really cool. And then Parallax outfit for Sinestro is pretty much on brand for comics. Not that he'd be fighting these Green Lanterns. He debuted this look, I think this is where he debuted this look during Forever Evil. And you can see this matches up pretty closely with that look. Now we've got this, David Finch kind of made this a nondescript little circle here, no logo in the middle, but I think this is pretty solid. I am a little bit confused if this was the look they were going for. Can't quite make out if here, actually now I can with a little bit more zooming action. We do have the white stripe in his part there. So it does look like maybe that's the look they were going for. We've got the logo here. So I guess if you wanted, you could just make that all yellow and lose the logo. He's got the ring all squared away and all set on the right hand, which is great. The left hand, I meant the right is in the correct hand. No power ring for him to fight because the one we have is more modern crime syndicate, but whatever. You can have him fight the evil version of John Stewart just as well. The cape looks good. I thought they did a really nice job with this. So you can pair him up, have him fight the rest of your crime syndicate, who are pretty consistent with how they appeared in Forever Evil. So, I mean, we got this look, and I think that's really well done. So you see the white hair is not as prominent with this one. So I think they did a pretty solid job on this figure. Question is, do I need it? Is it a necessary addition to the ranks? Maybe not. But he's also part of this Target exclusive setup. So, when he gets dropped down on clearance to maybe $11, I'll probably scoop him up. Not because I really, really had to have this look, but because it's at Target, because there's always sales at Target, this might be a worthwhile addition to the collection. But I'm still a little bit confused about the part choice for steel. Of course, that Sinestro one is using the base for the original Parallax, the Hal Jordan figure we got, which was also reused for the Power Ring John Stewart figure. So nice to see he's getting some use out of this one. That makes sense. Not so in the case of steel, but I'm probably still going to get steel, which is the hope, because I can complain and gripe. It's the wrong body part. And I just have to suck it up, like I did with that Black Lightning figure, which also used this body. And again, not a great fit. And I have to have one of my buddies who can paint with straighter hands than me, painting his eyes. But it could be better, could be worse, of course. But I was really hoping with no issues, no problems. Hopefully, this is just a start. So I'm going to put Steel next to Alan Scott so I can have two members of my all-star squadron. Hopefully, we'll see some more in the future. But it's a good start, I suppose, even though it could have been better. Todd, for some unsolicited advice, use your blank bodies. Don't go with these ones that have unique sculpting. Because, we see it right away. And there's no need when you have other existing ones that are already in the tank that you can just use and pull out again, just like that Parallax body. Use the blank ones. That's what they're there for. All right. What do you all think about these two releases? Are you going to get them? Are you going to skip them? Or are you a McFarlane hater that says these are terrible? Let me know in the comments. Thank you as always for watching. This episode of the House Figure Files has been filed.